Welcome back to the 17th episode of the Benchwarmers podcast. We are your hosts, Jacob,
Sam.
And Baden.
and today we're going to be going over our Cavs talk, some general NBA talk, as well as looking forward to the upcoming NFL draft. So, we want to start off with the Cavs?
Absolutely.
All right. So, as many of you may know, we attended last night's game between the Cavs and the Washington Wizards. It was quite the game. Wizards led by as much as 9 in the fourth. The Cavs came back. Any first impressions from the game you guys want to talk about?
Sam, you can go first.
All right, I'll take it off. Obviously, always nice to win one. You know, a win's a win. I'll say that all the time. But good God, we need a point guard. I think that's like the number one takeaway from this game. No hate to Brandon Goodwin, who I think is like a very serviceable backup. That's exactly what he is. He's a backup. He cannot go out there and be that guy. And I think he shot like 2 for 7 or something abysmal like that.
Yeah, it wasn't impressive.
It was not pretty.
He was an okay distributor, but he just couldn't get a shot to fall.
Yeah. I guess my second takeaway is Ori Markkanen is that guy, but only if he's shooting from beyond the arc. If you ask him to take a step inside, he will immediately brick it. He shot like 0 for 9 inside, like when not from 3. It was disgusting, but again, win's a win. Just gotta find ways to do it.
Yeah, pretty ugly win, but the best teams know how to win ugly. You just can't really rely on no Garland, no LeVert, Rondo. Like your 3 best playmakers all gone. It's definitely going to be difficult to create offense. You can even say Sexton, obviously, as well.
I don't know if I'd say Rondo is a top 3 playmaker on our team. I think there's a case for both Chetty and Mobley.
Whoa, okay, we're getting
what?
Rondo is one. Oh my God, that is
who
an
Rondo
L take. What an L
take! We're already starting off with bad takes. Wow,
that was awful.
Man.
Oh my God,
already starting off with bad takes.
That's not okay. First of all, Chetty balled out at the point last night. You can't deny it. Chetty played incredibly. He made plays. Rondo is just a passer. That's the truth.
That's his thing. Rondo is
and he's amazing at it.
I know that he's
amazing at it.
I know that he's amazing at it. I would I'm sorry.
I do not condone Chetty Osman slander. Rondo's playmaking is better than his passing ability is better than anything Chetty Osman can do.
Okay, well now you're getting a little. Now you're getting a little.
I guess.
Tell me what skill set does Chetty Osman have that he possesses is better than Rondo's skill set of passing?
Kyle Korver Jr.
Turkish LeBron, dude. Like Chetty is.
All right. You guys are trolling. All right.
Okay, and then Mobley is like kind of apples to oranges because what they do is, totally different.
I think you're definitely a playmaker.
Mobley can take the ball in the post from any point guard and just beat a guy. He can really just get past him, and he can create a bucket.
True. I think
that's a different type of playmaking.
When I look at playmaking, I think of creating your own shot, creating a shot for others. When you combine both of those things, Garland's the best on this team. Rondo is probably second best if he's playing well. But that's just me.
That's fair. I don't know. What else? Kyle Kuzma looked like a Hall of Famer last night.
Kyle Kuzma played like prime Kobe last night for no reason. Bro was hitting every fadeaway shot. I don't think he was probably better on fadeaways than he was regular jump shots. It was absolutely absurd.
Oh, that's probably right. I mean, he was posting up like prime MJ. You know the MJ thing where he takes the ball at the top of the key and he just like swings it around and around. Kuzma was doing exactly that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that scared me.
It was terrifying.
It looked like he couldn't miss, but then all he could do was miss. because Isaac locked down Okoro. Took him in the fourth.
Yeah, that's I think that's the improvements that if I look at just JB's Bickerstaff, his ability to make changes in game clearly improved. That's a big reason why we're a much better team. And sometimes those changes seem weird. Like, why did he put Laurie Markkinen on Ish Smith for part of the game yesterday? It was weird, but it worked. So, and again, this is a weird team in the way of they've built this team and they're playing a lot more differently than the rest of the league when everyone's trying to go small ball, starting three guys 6'11" and taller.
Yeah,
So
I mean, like Baden said, it's like who thinks of milking a cow, just like tugging on the
Can,
other.
can we not do this every episode, dude? Oh,
it's iconic. I'm
It
sorry,
is
it's iconic.
iconic. It's iconic.
The some of the greatest ideas are made from the weirdest thoughts.
stop this, please. Please. Oh,
Oh my god,
I
that
just,
was so beautiful. Anyway, I'm trying to think.
Hold on, real quick. I need to add on to that. Not only did
no,
someone
no, no, no,
milk,
no, no, no,
not
no,
only
no,
did
no.
someone milk the cow, someone said, "Let me drink this."
Baden's
Oh
getting
my
heated.
god. Oh my god. No
my
way.
goodness.
I want to, from here on out, no, no more milking talk. Okay.
Why'd you have to phrase it like that?
Okay. What else do we pick up from that game? Jared Allen continues to be a monster. Just he's a consistent double-double. I think he dropped like 17 and 13. I mean, yeah,
Something like that.
What else?
Might have been
Kevin
9
Love
might
was
have been
actually pretty
19.
disappointing. He did not have a great game, and it seemed
I
like he might have been
believe
injured at the end.
I was about to say that he might have looked like he got hurt. So
Yeah.
you can't really say much about that.
There are nights where it seems like Love can't miss, and there are nights like last night.
We can
Where
do
I mean,
nothing
he
about that.
didn't even take a lot of shots either. He couldn't have taken more than 6 shots.
Yeah,
So
but I don't know if he even scored any. Maybe a couple buckets. I mean, the Cavs as a whole shot really horribly in the first half. I think the first quarter they were under 30% from the field.
yeah, they didn't shoot. I think they shot like 37% on the game.
Yeah. They
Um,
just their defense is winning them games. You can hold
hey,
that Wizards team down.
defense wins championships. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They just, when again, I keep bringing this up, when your best perimeter offensive playmakers are all out, every single one of them, it's just it's just hard to score. Very difficult to score. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, you'd be crazy to take the over in that kind of game, you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
like you
no, I mean,
imagine betting the over, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean that.
Jacob missed on
would do that.
almost all
and
of
I,
his bets
and
for
not
that.
only did we not have Garland, Sexton, Levert, Rondo, but the Wizards also didn't have their one of only 2 competent scorers in Bradley Beal. So he still picked the over,
Yeah.
knowing that.
Yeah, no, that was
I actually didn't
pretty
remember
wild.
that. But yeah, it was a pretty low over to be fair. It was like 210. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, well, don't try and justify it now.
The Wizards dropped to 150 on their own 2 nights ago.
You literally use that as reasoning
In
to why
3 overtimes.
Two.
literally use that as reasoning as to why they would lose this game. You're like, they'll be tired. Why would they be able to score more points when they're coming off triple overtime?
I don't want to talk
Anyway.
about this anymore.
Trying to think of any other Cavs thoughts I have. Did we talk about Jetty Osman turning into Turkish LeBron for a second?
Did a little bit.
Well, I want to talk about it more.
Okay.
I love Jetty. So Jetty Osman shows this like uncanny ability to just take I feel so weird saying this, but like he is the reason that the Cavs bench is so good. It's him and Kevin Love, and they just like Backstreet Boy connection. I'm telling you. So I'm just gonna take Jacob's thing for a second there. You put them together, and sorry, I lost my train of thought. That was so stupid to say. That was just awful.
Wow,
Don't edit our podcast, but I wish that
That's-
we could cut that out.
that's wild. You said that. I'm not gonna lie.
Jetty, something 19 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. I think I remember that off the top. 7 of 13 from the field, sorry. 29 minutes. I mean, JB is doing this thing when our bench is short, where he just doesn't play anybody else besides 8 people.
Yeah.
He's
And it
playing
works.
it works, but I worry about like the long term. So because that's like what the Raptors are doing. They're playing playoff minutes. They're playing their 8 guys playoff minutes, and it's not the playoffs yet. I just worry like what the long term effects of that might be. Obviously, when we get more guys back, when Rondo, LeVert, and Garland all come back from their various injuries, the bench will extend more. But right now, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna have a pretty adverse effect on the health of this team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just difficult to win games when RJ Nemhart is in your rotation.
Whoa,
No
is that
disrespect.
RJ Nembhard slamber?
No disrespect.
Slamber.
No disrespect, but I did not know who that guy was until 10 hours ago. Not even.
Fake fan. Honestly,
Faith.
was playing with during our COVID lockout, and we had what's that guy's name? Malik Jackson.
I have no idea who either of those guys
Wasn't
are.
Malik Jackson was on the Browns. He's a Browns defensive tackle.
Yeah, I mean Malik and Jackson are both common names.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I talked about this a few
help.
pods ago. The fatigue we're putting on these guys who are expected to be rotation players, like Kevin Love. The reason he has games like these are because of how much we're playing him. Why crazy? Um, Love is really, he's supposed to be a rotational guy. We saw what happened when we tried to play him too much in the post LeBron era. He just couldn't do it, and we were seeing peak Love efficiency at the beginning of this year. And now, as we lose more and more players and Love plays more minutes, the strain is starting to weigh on him.
But I honestly think that like this game, him being just like out of it, is more the fact like they were hacking him for the entire game. He wasn't getting any calls, and I think they just got in his head and he was just out of it.
He literally flopped one play. Like he just
Love
if he can get a call.
it was not Love's night. But he'll bounce back.
See.
If the Cavs can win games like that, they can win playoff games. That was like the equivalent I would give was Browns versus Jets in 2020. The Browns were missing their 4 or 5 best receivers, except the Browns didn't find a way to win.
They should have won.
They
should have.
What can I say? The Jets beat the Bengals, who went to the Super Bowl. They beat the Titans, the #1 seed, the AFC. Just give them the championship already. Honestly, would you like that? I'm the only Jets fan on the pod, but it's okay. When we go 17-0, you'll see.
Oh, wow. Sam, I don't think you're gonna be alive when the Jets go 17-0.
Even if they do go 17-0, they'll lose in the divisional round of the playoff.
I hate you.
Very true.
I say that. Anyway, I think
not only will they lose in the divisional round, they'll lose to Mac Jones.
Baden and I have beef. This is where the podcast ends right now. Anyway, I think that's a good. The last thing I want to say about the Cavs, and I hope that this is okay to wrap it up, is that the Cavs crowd is the most elite fans in the entire NBA.
It's a very great atmosphere. Obviously, I haven't been to another stadium before, or NFL or NBA stadium, but I don't think it can get much better than that.
Yeah.
Plus, I think we have one of the bigger arenas in terms of seating. I don't think there's many other stadiums with 20,000 seats.
Yeah, I mean it was packed last night.
Yeah. Um, this crowd was on its feet for a pretty much meaningless game in right after the All-Star break, with like halfway left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Everybody was standing.
I think people
Absolutely
are
wild.
realizing they're just realizing how special this team is,
Yeah.
and that's why you want to go to Cavs games.
Then do we just want to move on to general NBA talk?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So currently, at the moment, the Sixers are playing the Knicks, and obviously stuff around the Sixers is
Sixers are
Harden and
winning, right?
Embiid. Together, the Sixers are currently winning 85-81.
Oh, it's close.
Harden has 17 and 13, and Embiid has 26. I feel like this is what we're going to see a lot of about these guys. Is just that we're going to see them combine for like 55 points. Embiid's going to score like 30, and Harden's going to have his 24 and 13 and 24, like a double type game. I think it's going to be really hard to stop.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think the Sixers team is really legit with James Harden now.
I think Harden's happy there. I don't think he was happy in Brooklyn.
I think.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that that's a weird thing to say because I think that Harden. I think winning is the cure to like all ailments.
Well,
And
yeah,
at the time that he was leaving, they had just lost like what 10 straight. I think that
Something like that, yeah.
like
getting him
11
playing,
of 12.
yeah, he gets to play his play style. The get the ball, he can pass it out. What was the last time he played with a big man like this? Was that Dwight Howard?
I mean, not he's never really played with a
A,
big man like
I mean,
Embiid.
a
Because Embiid,
comparable big man is probably KD.
No,
KD's not
what?
KD's not a big man.
Like in terms
KD,
of superstar potential as a duo,
He's not a big man. Is the thing. Like KD plays the
he's
small
7
forward or
feet
the power
tall.
forward.
he doesn't play a prototypical big man. He's not.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's has 6'6" skills
I thought you just meant
and
a
a
star duo.
no,
No.
yeah,
Okay.
no, probably he's never really had a big man like Embiid because most of the big men he's played with are rim runners.
Yeah.
Capella, uh, Dwight Howard, uh, I guess Nicholas Claxton, rim
Nicholas
athletic,
Claxton.
athletic rim running bigs. That's what all three of those guys are. Embiid is a post up inside force that
I was
can
actually
give you 30 and 15 whenever he feels like it.
I was actually watching like the first game, and Embiid was like shocked whenever he got open. Like he
Yeah,
would
because
come out
he's
to
not
defend.
not the. I mean, to the extent he's not the vocal point of that offense anymore, or at least not to the same extent.
Yeah.
Just because Harden takes off so much pressure, he's gonna get open a lot more. They'll both be more open because of what they do for each other.
It's just because even when like Ben Simmons was on that team, Ben Simmons was being guarded like Russell Westbrook. You don't have to worry about him shooting at all. Ever. He's just. I mean, I wish the best for Ben Simmons. I hope that he succeeds on Brooklyn. But James Harden is a better fit for this Nets team. He can create more than.
I mean, to an extent, you could say Simmons is a better fit for the Nets as well. Just because they don't need Kyrie and Harden. Like that's just kind of redundant in a sense. So
Yeah. I guess it provides like another cutting threat. I don't know what is. It's like the philosophy of surround LeBron with shooters, and I think Ben Simmons is being surrounded with some of the best shooters to ever do it. Kyrie is pretty good. AD is lethal.
Seth Curry.
Seth Curry might be. There's an argument that that the Curry brother is one of the best shooters ever, possibly the best.
He is statistically the best shooter ever in terms of 3-point percentage. Seth Curry is the best ever. I'm pretty sure. Or at
I'm
least he's
sure
higher
that's
than
true.
Steph. He's higher than Steph,
I'll
that's for
look it up.
sure.
I'll
It
look it
might be
up. I'll
Steve
look it up.
Kerr. It might be actually I think it's Steve Kerr who is the best, who has the highest 3-point percentage.
He's
But Seth
exactly 0.5. Seth.
Seth, Seth, he's
Oh
0.5
my
exactly.
god,
Yes.
That's absurd.
that
That's
is
actually absurd.
wild. Jeez, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that.
That's crazy.
I didn't even think he was. I thought he was at like 0.48 or something like that.
Oh wait, hold on. That
Well,
might
I mean,
be his.
not
That might
that
be
much.
his last game. Hold on. Let me check. Let me review
Yeah,
that.
no, that's
Oh,
probably his last
That
game.
that that can't
I
be
don't know.
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if someone in the history of the NBA shooting 50% from three as long as he played.
Career. His whole career. This season he's shooting 41. No, 47. 47.4 this season.
Okay, that makes sense. Does it make sense? I don't know, because I know the best shooter right now in the league is PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's shooting like 45% three. I know that's kind of wild to say, but PJ Tucker is like that elite corner shooter. Um,
In 2014, Seth Curry shot 100% from three.
It's probably like 2 for 2.
1 for 1. Guess which team he was on?
Cavs.
The
No.
Cavs. He was on the Cavs.
Seth Curry was on the Cavs?
Yeah,
The
Seth Curry
Cavs.
was on. He was on the
I
Cavs. He was on the Kings.
know that Joe Harris was on the Cavs for a stretch. I did not know that
Was
Seth Curry was. I guess I'm a fake fan. What can I say? I'm a fake fan.
who? What other team? What team did he actually get? Was he? Did he actually like break out on the Sixers, or was that another team he actually like?
Was he on? Was he on the Pistons
Mavericks.
trade? Was he
Oh.
part of the?
Mavericks. Yeah, he was on the Mavericks before the Sixers.
Just trying to remember because I thought he was part of that Tobias Harris trade.
No, he wasn't part of that deal.
Tobias Harris is probably
Yeah,
one of the most like bloated contracts right now. It's like Russ and Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
yeah, Russ, John Wall, Tobias Harris.
It's like the
I
NBA
think
equivalent of how Amari Cooper and Kenny Galladay are the second and third highest paid receivers in the NFL.
Amari Cooper is somewhat justified. Kenny
No.
Galladay is.
Cooper is not a top 3 receiver.
Well,
There's a
I'm saying, well, obviously no, but gives you top, 10 to 15 production.
yeah.
Kenny
And it's,
Galladay and
yeah.
the Giants starting left tackle had more touchdowns than Kenny Galladay this year. I just want to point that out there. Now, is that fully his fault? No, but still,
Yeah. All
zero
right.
touchdowns. But anyways, let's stick with the NBA.
DeMar DeRozan's historic scoring streak finally brought
Yeah,
to a
so
close.
this went to a close off a pretty bad no call, which led to an ejection. I think he still has 10 straight 30-point games, which is the second most in Bulls history. Behind some dude named Michael. I've never heard of him.
A bum, honestly. Probably a
Yeah,
plumber from the 90s.
yeah, one of those.
Bet he wasn't a sneaky athlete. I don't think he knew how to play the game the right way. Honestly, I don't think he was a first guy in, last guy out kind of guy.
Oh
What?
my god.
Oh my gosh. Um, but anyways, DeMar DeRozan is making a great case for MVP right now. It's him, it's Jokic, it's Embiid. Those are really the top
Embiid's
three guys
gonna Embiid's gonna fall off the MVP standings with Harden.
that is probably
I mean,
true. So I
he's
think
not.
it's
It won't be deserved because he's still playing at an MVP level, but just his
yeah.
stats will take a little bit of a hit.
I think DeRozan can very well win it. It's as I think when you also factor in team success, they're definitely a better team than the Nuggets, Bulls are. So you're looking at probably the favorite right now. I would say the betting odds favorite would be DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion.
Yeah,
You really
I would
think so?
agree.
All right, I'll get it right now.
Betting odds favorite probably is Jokic at the
Yeah,
moment.
I would. My vote is Jokic.
But
I think Jokic deserves this MVP.
I would bet by the end of the season DeRozan takes the lead.
probably not wrong.
If he keeps it up, definitely good.
Plus,
What
you
else do we
know,
have to say about the
when
NBA?
you look at political things like, you know, voter fatigue and, you know, the story behind it, the storyline, DeRozan has it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, was in Toronto, traded to San Antonio. You know, Toronto ended up winning a championship. Just kind of forgotten about by the media. Just not nearly as popular. Uh, Finally got a chance to play with a pretty good team again, and has made the most of it.
Yeah.
The story is there.
All right. I think that's all that I have to say about the NBA. If anybody else has anything, I'm ready to hear it.
I don't think I have anything.
I guess the one thing I wanted to say is kind of how interesting these playoff matchups look at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, they look crazy.
So some of these matchups are pretty interesting. Grizzlies Nuggets first round would
Oh
be
my god.
amazing.
Wow.
Um, look at which was there was
I think the
two others.
Cavs and the
The Cavs
Bucks.
would host the Bucks in a
Oh
playoff
my
series.
god.
That would go to 7 games, no doubt. Might
Absolutely.
hope.
You want? Remember when I compared the 2021 Cavs or 2022 Cavs, 2020 Browns? If this is the playoff situation, that's like Browns Chiefs. I'm just saying.
That is to an extent that is Browns Chiefs.
Well, that's
So
exactly Browns Chiefs. Actually, that's kind of
yeah,
wow.
that's literally
Jacob's
Browns
kind of
Chiefs.
on point right now. Oh no.
Um, the Nets are currently the 8 seed. They'll definitely rise, but it's gonna be interesting where they will fall. I don't know if they can get past the 5 seed, to be honest. But they were the 6 seed. Nets Sixers. That would be. I
That
need
would
that
be
play.
so great to see.
Storyline. The
I
Imagine
need
story.
like
that.
literally the last time those two teams played off, that was already an all-time playoff series. Even though like the Sixers won in like 5 games, it was still an all-time playoff series. Like Jared Dudley versus Ben Simmons. Now Ben
Clearly.
Simmons is on the other team.
Ben
That's
Simmons
just
versus isn't Jared Dudley on the coach? No, he's on
Jared
the
Dudley is
coaching
out of the
staff.
league. He is out of the league.
Oh, I thought he was on the coaching staff for the Nets or the Sixers. I know that he
He might be a
became
coach
coach.
somewhere,
I know.
but he's not playing. Um, is it for the play-in tournament? Isn't it 7 versus 8, 9 versus 10?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. Who are the
So
Lakers playing right now?
that would mean Hornets versus Hawks.
Oh my Trey Young,
Trae
LaMelo
Young
Ball
versus
rules.
LaMelo would be that would be an amazing game. Yeah, a lot of these playoff matchups are very fun at the moment. Obviously, things will change, but that's also something I wanted to point out.
Where
I'm
do you
not
guys
gonna
think the
lie.
count? Oh,
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I think that this might be the most wide open title race there's been
yeah.
in the last 10 years. I would be confident in saying.
I would say legitimate contenders. I'd say the Suns, Warriors, Grizzlies, Jazz, and Nuggets. I
I would
would
not throw the
consider.
last two on there as like title contenders.
Or maybe not the Jazz, but I would still keep the Nuggets there just because they are the 6 seed, but that I think the way that team is built, they can make a deep run. The East, the Heat are title contenders. Bulls, Sixers. As long as the Nets are healthy, they'll be a title contender. The Bucks, obviously. The Cavs are literally just outside. They're just outside.
Yeah, I
That
know it
means
hurts
they're
to say, but they're
hurts to say, but it's
No,
true.
no,
They're just
no.
outside
They compete.
title contenders.
I disagree with that.
They can, I think it's the lack of what's the word? Experience on the team.
I agree.
It's a lack of experience for me. Uh the Bucks been there, done that. a lot of those players, they were there when they went to the finals in 2020, the bubble.
Yeah.
Bulls are a little inexperienced overall, but they still have guys like DeRozan who's been in the playoffs. That I guess, yeah, that's just,
I
that's
think
kind of
I think
that's
if
kind
the
of it.
Cavs, I think if the
They're
Cavs can
definitely a
get
little bit more
healthy,
proven.
I think if the Cavs can get healthy by playoff time, they're up there. Because when's the last time we had a fully healthy lineup? If you can, obviously excluding Sexton. When's the last time we trotted out Garland, Levert, Markkinen,
It was
Mobley? Never.
right
Because
when we,
Never.
Markin,
right when we, or no, when we traded Levert, Markin was down, wasn't he?
yeah,
Yeah.
we have
For
never put
Levert.
out that lineup.
So
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
I mean, I just think the lack of experience is what puts the Cavs right outside. But that means basically 6 title contenders in the East.
That's
That's
wild.
absurd. We're with, I would say, 4, maybe 5 in the West.
Yeah,
That's
I would agree.
that's it's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, no, I think that's a W take for Baden. Consistent Wade and Wabino.
Always.
So I would like to give
So
my winners and losers from the
Oh,
NBA
of course,
Yeah,
we
over the.
forgot about.
It's a pretty small sample size. Post All-Star break. Starting off with the West. Big winners, big winners. Let's see. I think the big loser is pretty clear. I think the big winners are the Nuggets. They went into the All-Star break hot. They're gonna come out of it hot. They've won 5 straight. They've jumped. I think they went from the 8th seed to now they're up to the 6th seed. So they're cementing themselves for a playoff run. Big loser in the West. I'm gonna give it to the Suns. And I know it's not. It's not okay. Hear me out. It's not like I'm so concerned about the Suns, but when they lose a game like that at home to the Pelicans, it's just it ruins that team's energy because they've been on such a good streak lately. They won like 19 of 20. It was something ridiculous. So to lose to the Pelicans at home with during a chance to build another big win streak, I think is a pretty significant loss.
Chris Paul is out for them. He's
Yeah,
probably not back till playoff time, which definitely hurts that team a lot. They may not get like the 1 seed again,
I know. I
but
think they have such a big cushion that they'll probably still get it.
no, my biggest losers would be the Lakers because they're the Lakers.
they just lose. I don't
They
think that
lost to the
counts as their
Clippers,
biggest
brother.
loser.
They have lost. They've lost 6 straight to the Clippers. Like that's sad. I'm not gonna lie. No Paul
And right
George,
now, the
no Kawhi.
Clippers are edging him out for that last playoff spot.
Or technically no.
Well,
No,
I mean
because they're
they're in
still
the play-in, but I'm saying
Both teams are in the
guaranteed.
play-in.
Oh,
yeah.
right, it's 6, not 8. My bad, my bad.
In tournament's kind of wild. I like it though. It's fun.
Yeah. All right, and then
Is it-
in the East, give my big winners to the Sixers. Sixers,
Yeah.
that James Harden trade is looking amazing for them so far. Right now, they are down to the Knicks. Interesting.
They're down now.
Are losing to the Knicks, but with guys like Harden and Embiid, they're gonna go. Excuse me. They're gonna go far. And then my co-winner would be the Cavs. Their ability to get that win last night against the Wizards, can't exclude them. Big losers in the East. I don't think there's anyone I'm super worried about. If I had to say someone, I'd say the Raptors, because they had that really hot stretch right before the break, and they've come out and they've lost 2.
Fair enough.
So I would give my losers to the Raptors because it seemed they had that chance to get out of the play-in into that top 6. But now the Celtics hold like a 2.5 game lead on them. That's where the big drop off is in the East right now.
Yeah.
And that's ground that they should have made up
If we
but didn't.
consider the Celtics the same tier as those other 6 teams that we said, I feel like there's an argument to be made that the Celtics might be the 7th contender in the East, especially with how well they've played lately.
I think so. I think that they brought themselves back. I think momentum does so much. I think it's like such an understated factor. I think that they right now in this moment in time, they deserve to be put up there with the contenders. But as we've said throughout this entire pod, things change. And I could see them like falling out of that if they have another cold streak, or rising even higher if they have another hot streak. Because I think that this is like a really dangerous playoff team who just might not show it in the regular season.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Rajon Rondo. Celtics are the Rajon Rondo.
Rajon Rondo is a solid player in the regular season, and he's borderline all-star in the playoffs.
Okay.
So,
I don't know.
Sam,
I
are
think
you
that's
ready?
a little
Are
outrageous.
you ready?
No, I need like 5 more minutes. I need 5 more minutes. I'm
So
I'm
I guess,
almost done. Just counting.
What else we gotta talk about? The Sixers
About
have
the
retained.
NFL.
Okay.
You can move on to the
Uh,
NFL segment, and then I'll just do my stuff after that.
all right. So, basically, the NFL draft is, that's the main thing people are going to talk about for the next couple of months. For most teams like the Browns and the Jets, the draft is, hopefully where things can change franchises. So,
yeah, the
I
draft
guess
is always great for
I
the
guess
Jets.
this.
Okay, shut up. There's no reason to say that. I'm sorry. I'm counting something for a later segment, but I just needed to butt in to say that is uncalled for. I know that we're trash, okay? I've been bullied.
I mean, really, actually, Jacob is wrong. Jacob is wrong because the Jets barely know how to draft, so it's not really that great, anyways, to see them draft bust.
I want to tell you guys a story, okay? I'm holding the mic in my hand for a second. Let me tell you guys a story. Young Samuel, 2 or 3 years ago, when my voice was still Peter Pan-esque, goes to school the day after a Jets loss. His best friend, shall not be named, who knows nothing about football, I would guarantee that they've never watched a game in their life, comes up to me and says, "How about them Jets?" I stare him down.
I can guess who that was.
I'm sure you can.
I have 2 or 3 people in mind right now.
I just stare at them. Then somebody else hears that and they're like, "Oh, Sam, you're a Jets fan? That must suck." And at this point, I can't take it anymore. I walk down the hallway. I see 2 kids wearing Browns gear. We talk about football in whatever class we share. And they're like, "Hey, the Jets lost yesterday. How does that feel?" I can't take it. I think I spent at least half of that period in the bathroom because I was so unbelievably done. So, little story time with Sam, and you guys can go back to whatever shit you were talking about.
So yeah, Sam Darnold.
Stop! Go to the
Sam
Browns.
Darnold.
Who do you think the Browns draft? Talk about that.
Going
All right.
there.
So I'm thinking there's some trades. There's some trades on the table. But I think if I'm the Browns, unless someone gives you some really good value, I could see trading down with the Saints, trading down to the Ravens, even if it's just one spot to accumulate a late pick. I would do it if you're not concerned about that team taking a receiver. I think the answer is Burks. I think the first answer is Wilson, but Wilson will almost certainly be gone at 13. And that's where my man Treylon Burks comes in. Wide receiver, Arkansas. Wait, I can't hear you. Oh yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, he
Can't.
remember when? Yeah, I hear you now. Remember when everyone was talking about how like the Bama defense is so good? Remember who the only receiver to torch Alabama all year was? Treylon Burks. Burks goes crazy, dude. He's the DK Metcalf / AJ Brown.
I really
of this
think
class.
he's literally the top 2019 receivers combined in one. I've seen Debo comparisons, I've seen AJ Brown comparisons, I've seen DK Metcalf comparisons. Like he's just this big body running back built type receiver that runs faster than most people.
It's crazy.
And the Browns obviously do not have that. Almost every receiver on that team is slim built slot slash speedy receivers. Really, that's kind of the receiver core. That X receiver can kind of do it all, and that's Traylon Burks. There's also other guys that can do that. Obviously Garrett Wilson. I think Drake London has that potential. He a lot more like a big slot role in USC, so we didn't see maybe his full potential on the outside. But that is a mismatch in the slot to have someone 6'5" lined up there. Um, yeah, it doesn't really get much better than Traylon Burks.
So let's say I'm the Saints, and I'm picking at what, 16?
The Saints.
No, not 16.
So
18.
so
18.
you're the Saints. You live in New Orleans. Is that what I'm getting?
Sure. My name
I'm just trying to put
is
myself in the mindset of you.
My name
my
is
name is
Zion
Dennis.
Williamson.
My name is Dennis Allen. I'm the new Saints head coach, and I'm looking to make a move. I'm looking to acquire specifically a wide receiver. And I say, Browns, I will give you the 18, and I will give you my third rounder. I'll give you the 18 and my second rounder for the 13th pick.
Oh,
You would
duh,
give
if
me
you're the
you give me the
Browns.
8. You give me the 13 and the 3. I give you. Sorry, I totally messed that up. I give you my first and second. You give me your first and third.
Me, I don't know. Just because one, the Saints, like what they need in receiver isn't Traylon Burks. What they need is Jamison Williams or Chris Olave or Jahan Dotson, someone that was really gonna more speedy stretch the field. Obviously, Burks can still do that, but I mean, I guess Burks isn't a bad. It's not a bad pick, but the type of receiver I think the Saints would benefit the most is Dotson, Williamson, Olave type guy. So I really don't see the point of moving up because I think all three of those guys will still be there at 18. Um, Especially when you look at, I think, good chance three receivers are already off the board by 18 as well. I think London is probably off. He could very well be off the board in the mock draft that I just did. He went the pick after. Um, but definitely, I think Burks will definitely be off the board. Wilson will definitely be off the board. It's just going to be a matter of where the pieces fall after that.
I agree
I like that.
with you. All right, I'm ready. If you guys want to hear it,
I'm
I'm ready.
ready.
And then we can come
All right.
back to this.
Yeah. Okay, so just for a little recap about this next segment, last podcast, which you guys should go listen to, by the way, if you haven't already, we redrafted the NBA, or we drafted like 4 super teams. Us, 3 of us plus Alex, who's a friend of the pod. And I simulated 5 seasons of these teams in 2K, and I have quite a few stats right here in front of me to just tell you how it went. Just, do we want to go over like the highlights of the teams first, like which players they had, so we can just get a basic like outline for that?
Yes,
Sure.
I mean,
Go.
not the
I don't.
players because if you want to know the players, you should listen to the other
Oh,
podcasts.
that's true.
Uh,
That's true.
but maybe I guess like the record and like
Yeah, I can do that.
the
I can do
basics
that.
of records, championships won, all that.
Yeah, okay. So Aiden won the most games. Aiden was like far and away the most successful team. Baden had a winning. So just for like, let's give a baseline. The best like franchise winning percentage of all time is 61%. That's what the San Antonio Spurs like all time win loss. They win 61% of their games.
I feel like Sam's about to
Aiden
say
won.
someone's winning like a crazy amount.
Aiden's won. Okay, so let's see. He won 358 games over 5 seasons.
Yo, wait, hold on. That's like 70 games a year, dog.
What? 358 divided by 410. 87%. That's how many games he won. He won 87% of every game.
Luka Doncic is the greatest player of all time. Yo, what the heck?
Oh my god.
He won 3, but for the record, nobody did badly. He won 358 games and lost 52. The worst NBA seasons of all time. Like, what is the worst record anybody has ever had?
It was the 9 and 50 something season the Hornets had.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes, I believe that. I'm pretty sure that's correct. The Dallas Mavericks in 1994 went 13 and 69.
That's the worst.
3 of us lost less games than that over a 5-year span.
Wow.
Just to like show how good these teams.
I mean,
were.
obviously, we made 4 super teams and took the rest of the teams or the rest of those star players off other teams, so it made sense. We dominated so much, but still, 52 losses in 5 years.
Like to guess who the only person who lost more than 70 games was?
Jacob.
Who do you think?
I think it was Alex.
It was Alex.
Alex
lost 82 games. Alex was also the only one of us to never make a finals appearance.
Wow.
Yo, Alex.
Wow.
Alex got knocked out by Baden in the conference finals every single year. And the better part, none of those series went to 7. Aiden cleared him out in 6 games or less, 5 years in a row. So here,
crazy.
Aiden won 4 championships. I won 1. Aiden went 4-1 in the finals. He made it every single year. I went 1-2 in the finals. Jacob went 0-2 in the finals.
Man, it's okay.
So how many championships did I win?
Won 4 championships. Let me give you the record against others in the regular season. All right, so I like cataloged every single time that we played each other. Like every single time one of our 4 teams played each other. And I'll share this sheet with you guys after, but Alex went 16-20. Aiden is again the only one of us with a winning record in these games. He went 22-14. It's not like we even had a chance against him. He just absolutely clapped us every single time. It's kind of embarrassing, actually. Okay, what else? I went 18-21. Jacob went 19-20. So that happened.
What was my record?
He went 22-14 against us.
Nice.
22-14 against a super team of the best players we could possibly draft. So here, let me give you some of the player accomplishments. Okay, let me just like hit the highlights of that. So in season 4, right, Jacob and I play an intense series in the conference finals. I go down 0-2. I win 3 straight. I go up 3-2. He wins another game. Steph Curry fractures his finger in game 6.
Dude.
Right before the pivotal game 7 of that series. I blow Jacob out to go to my 3rd straight finals.
Wow.
Jacob makes it year 1 and year 5. Yeah, that's
did Luka win Finals MVP all 4 years?
No, actually, that's what I was just about to get to. Luka and LaMelo split Finals MVP. Go 2-2. I think what happens, Luka wins 6th Man of the Year in season 5. I think the CPU benched him in favor of LaMelo.
Wow.
That's wild.
I know it's a crazy time. LaMelo wins MVP. Giannis wins DPOY 4 times in a row.
Jeez.
Oh, and then my favorite stat. So, Jacob has. There's nothing really more to say. We just like all absolutely dominate all the time. Alex goes 5-16 against us in the playoffs, or I guess solely against Baden in the playoffs. That
Jeez.
happens.
Damn.
It's swept like twice. It's very funny. Um. What did I say I was gonna say? What did I say I was gonna do?
Um,
I was
player
gonna do
accomplishments.
yeah, player accomplishments. Oh yeah, no, team accomplishments. So Jacob's team every single year leads the NBA in fouls made, in foul in
Oh,
fouls
yeah,
made
Sam
and
told,
fouls attempted.
Sam told me about that.
Jacob's
Trey Young and Embiid.
Yep, Trey Young and Embiid. And I think the fact that they have Steph Curry on there is pretty big
Yeah.
as well. He takes 2,500 free throws in a single season. But who has taken the most free throws in the NBA right now? Which team?
Mm.
I'm so glad my team wasn't the worst, because it really seemed like my team was the worst going out of the draft.
Oh, Alex's team was awful.
What do you
Just-
mean?
His team was. I mean, I guess he definitely, in a 2K sense, it wasn't the best.
He goes 59-23 in year 5. He's the only one of us to ever go under 60 wins in a season.
Wow.
What an L. Honestly, mid.
So
Very
funny.
mid.
What was my best record?
Oh, you went 75-7 this season.
Oh my god.
I'm absolutely insane.
I went 74-8 once. Jacob went 72-10 his first season, and then just went downhill from there.
Because I drafted Steph. Steph made it good the first couple years.
What was
Yeah,
Alex's
LeBron
best season?
retired after year 3. Like, okay, I won a championship. I'm kind of done with this. That kind of sucked because my only other small forward was OG Anunoby. And the CPU didn't decide to draft anybody else good with my picks. I guess like the Nets picks. Oh, and the most surprising thing, it's kind of embarrassing, but the final year, year 5, me and Alex both lose in the second round.
Bruh,
Get knocked out by normal, non-super team teams.
That's funny.
that's so sad.
I lose to the Jazz. I took Donovan Mitchell and Jace and Rudy Gobert. We're both not on the Jazz. So awful. So awful. But, you know, I won a championship. I was the only one to ever upset Baden in a 7-game series. That was kind of
Nice.
sick.
I'm not gonna
Nikola
lie,
Jokic won an
I
MVP.
knew I was gonna win like 2 or 3 championships. I didn't think I was gonna win 4 though.
Wild. Honestly, Baden hacked, I think. Baden, like,
Whoa.
pirated on my
Right.
Xbox.
Hey, wee. Breaking news. You're on the podcast. Not this is like it's very surprising news. It's in the NFL. The Bucks offensive lineman Ali Marpat is retiring
Huh.
at age
How old is he?
28.
Yeah,
He's
he's not that
28
old.
years old. That is
Wow.
kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie. Not like game breaking news, just because Ali Marpet isn't. He's an offensive lineman. No disrespect to the big guys, but they're not going to get nearly as much attention. But that's still surprising. One of the better guards in the NFL. Oh yeah, breaking
It is
news.
kind of wild. I hope he's okay. You know, I hope that it's just I don't know what to say. I hope that he's okay.
Guess,
Oh, that
you
was
got
all.
his money, got a Super Bowl ring. He said, I'm chilling. I'm out.
So, do we want to do?
I guess we could
Want
go.
to
We can
do
go back to
trade rumors?
NFL.
Oh yeah, no, we should go back to NFL. That's my
Draft.
bad. Yeah.
So I guess we were talking about trades, and obviously Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson are kind of like the two guys who are going to be big in the trade market. Obviously, Watson's situation is still up in the air, but if that all gets cleared, he will be traded. Um, I think the Panthers are a pretty good fit. There may not be a quarterback away, but they're definitely in need of a quarterback. I think they probably have the assets to do it. It would seem probably like you're giving up one of your star players. Like I feel like Christian McCaffrey would be in that deal.
Yeah.
I think I think it's interesting, but I actually think my vote for where Deshaun Watson goes is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers swing big, swing for the
Fits the
fences.
culture, you know.
It fits the culture of what they have at quarterback.
Big Ben
Continue Big
handing the
Ben's
mantle
legacy.
off to yeah.
I feel like it would be interesting for the Steelers because I don't think the Steelers what they would be giving up is not nearly as valuable as what someone like the Panthers would give up. The Eagles are probably in the running just because they have 3 first-round picks. It's like why not?
The
I
Eagles
don't
like
think
Hurts.
I don't think they do it. It's the Broncos. The Broncos are the team I think Aaron Rodgers. If he
Yeah, I
gets
think
traded,
the
he will go to the
Broncos are more.
Broncos.
Broncos don't have a ton of draft capital. Though. Like they have high picks because they were bad. They don't have like a lot of picks.
Yeah,
No, but I would see them
mean,
trading
the
like players.
thing is, you won't need as much to trade for Aaron Rodgers as you do Deshaun Watson because obviously you're getting, still a career's worth of Deshaun Watson versus the final 2 or 3 years of Aaron Rodgers' career. So cost as much. They have an extra second and an extra third from Rams in the Von Miller trade. Would think it's probably 2 firsts, a 2 and a 4. I feel like that gets you Aaron Rodgers. Um, I think that would be a good deal for both sides. Honestly, for the Packers, you're kind of really give yourselves the assets to and the cap space to rebuild this team around Jordan Love. Invest in the offensive line a bit more, receiver talent, upgrade the defense, and obviously you won't be the same without Aaron Rodgers, but it gives Jordan Love the best chance to succeed.
I think that my dark horse pick to be moved this offseason is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson to the Browns, I think might happen.
Really?
Oh,
You think the Browns are
I'm
gonna make
currently
that Rams type move?
I'm currently doing a Seahawks rebuild on Madden. I traded like everyone besides like DK Metcalf, like Lockett gone, Wilson gone, Bobby Wagner gone. Just completely reset that team. And obviously that's not realistic, but I could see the Seahawks maybe saying, "Hey, maybe we want to blow it up." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I just think
like Russell Wilson being that I think Russell Wilson would be like the Matthew Stafford type deal, where he goes to a team that already has an okay quarterback, but they just need the upgrade, like the Vikings, like the Browns. I look at Washington football team. So happen that all those
You mean
teams
the
pick 11.
Commanders?
yeah, the Commanders, Baden. Come on.
The Commanders. What an awful. I might still keep calling them Washington football team. Like that name's honestly better. See Wilson going to the Saints. I could see Wilson going.
I would see Wilson to the Saints, but I just don't know how they make that cap space work.
Oh yeah,
The Saints
maybe
are
never
already
mind. If they don't, if,
like
I don't think they'll get. I don't think they'll get the cap situation right for that. You know what would be interesting? You know what would be really interesting? Derek Carr, Russell Wilson swap.
Oh, oh my goodness.
I feel like
I don't know if that does anything though.
I think the Raiders are maybe like I don't know. It would be very interesting.
I just don't think either side gains so much from that. You know, like neither
'Cause, I
side
mean,
is like the Raiders
if you're
aren't a
the
playoff
Raiders, if
contender.
you're the
They don't think
Raiders, you're
they're playoff.
probably
They don't think they're QB away.
the
They think
Raiders are
they are.
still probably giving up picks.
Yeah.
So maybe the Seahawks say, "Hey, we could use these picks, use it to fill the holes that we have." Although we downgrade at quarterback, which may not be the smartest move.
If you're a
Uh,
Raiders fan, I just don't think you would want that.
yeah, I guess that's fair. That's just that came to mind.
All right, then. Do we
I
want
guess
to move
another
on to?
quarterback, not
Yeah.
nearly obviously at the level of the quarterbacks we've talked about, but Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy G. Yeah.
There are rumors that it's not fully 100% set that he will be traded, but I think he will be. Buccaneers, I think, makes the best sense.
No,
There
I
isn't
I
another
mean,
team.
I think that
There's not another team to me, in my opinion, that makes more sense than the Buccaneers. Because obviously, they just spent a second round pick on Kyle Trask, but do you really think he's ready yet? What if they lose? Godwin, receiver core is now kind of depleted at that point. You just lost Ali Marpet, as we just talked about, so your offensive line nearly isn't as good. So they definitely have some holes to fill, and I don't think Kyle Trask may be able to overcome those holes.
yeah. I just think that Jimmy G. Jimmy G's in like. I think Jimmy G is the Isaiah Thomas of
Here
the
he goes
NFL.
again.
Oh, don't do this. I get to you guys bullied me about the Jets. I understand. So I'm having this moment, okay? You can't take it away from me.
Oh.
This is my pop off king moment on the podcast, okay? I am gonna say it, Jacob, and you can't stop me. Jimmy G was like once looked at, if I recall, as like this mythical successor to like Tom Brady. Right? Like, oh, Tom Brady's going downhill, but Jimmy G, this guy, he's good, isn't he? And I just think that he is. I think that might be equated to like Isaiah Thomas's like top 5 MVP voting. I realize now, like I'm talking this out, and it's wrong, but I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with it.
Gonna
it's
keep
so
going anyway.
wrong. So wrong.
Yeah,
Sam method.
this Sam method. I think that he's in that spot where he's a serviceable quarterback. He's not anything more than that.
Like if you have a great team, like you can go to the Super Bowl. You have to have a great team around him, though. But if there's clear deficiencies, which there might be, the Bucks, then it could be a little interesting. It might still be a playoff team with Jimmy G, but obviously they're gonna fall off. He lost Brady. You know what I mean, you're gonna fall off. It's also not just what team he goes to; it's how much they trade for him. Like, is he worth a second, a third? You know, or do you give up a late first? I think when you look at a deal like Sam Darnold and say second, fourth, and sixth, obviously he's younger, he's cheaper, but
Sam
obviously not
Darnold really
nearly as
cheaper than Jimmy
proven.
G.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gotta be.
You said
I know that
what?
Darnold's making like 15 million a year.
Well, yeah, but you're not gonna
No
give him
way.
that contract.
He's not making 15 million a year. He's probably
Yeah,
making
he's
like
he was on his rookie deal. He was making like that player option or that team option. That a year 5, the fifth year option
fifth
is
year option.
15
That's
million,
that's this upcoming year. But Jimmy G still makes like 23
and
million.
he makes 28 million. It's my bad.
Yeah, Jimmy G still makes a lot more. It's just it doesn't hurt to the cap as much as Sam Darnold's does. His contract is built.
But
But
then, do we
yeah,
want to
that's
move
kind
on?
of
We just want to do our
uh,
bench warmers and then end it there.
I think that is what we should do.
All right. I'm gonna go first for my bench warmers. We were talking about him earlier this podcast. Turkish Jesus, the LeBron of the Middle East. It's Jetty Osman. Jetty Osman
LeBron of the
provided a
Middle
spark off
East.
the. What was that?
I just repeated what you said. That's just kind of funny to me.
Jetty in 29 minutes last night went 7-13, had 19 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds, shooting 40% from 3. He was one of the only guys who could produce offense for a very long time in that game, and they just did not play him in the fourth quarter, which was a little confusing to me, but helped lead the Cavs to a 6-point victory over the Washington Wizards, and can't complain about that.
So what? My bench warmer, I'm taking your guy, Sam. Isaiah Thomas. He just put up back-to-back 25-plus point games in the G League. Could he be on a team in a 10-day? Sure. Should it be the Cavs? No.
Yes.
But it's great to see Isaiah Thomas play well. It's just, there's definitely risks if he's on your team.
James Harden dropped 29, 16, and 10. So crazy. In 8 of 14 from the field. That's wild.
Embiid had 37.
Oh, this is so
MBE.
scary. Good.
Alright, so
Nice. W,
Jacob, your bench
Jacob.
warmer?
thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so my bench warmer. This guy sat on the bench and watched his team not play great before the All-Star break. Comes in and is everything that was promised. And although he's not a true bench warmer, I'm giving it to James Harden. His ability to quickly assimilate into that Sixers offense. Now they have 2 back-to-back impressive wins. I'm going with James Harden. He had a triple-double today.
Right, then let's just plug everything real quick. Spotify, YouTube, subscribe, like. We're trying to get this podcast off the ground. View and a like would really help us out. Twitter, we're very funny there. Kind of, sometimes.
All of that will be in the description, right, Jacob?
Right, Jacob?
Yep. For sure.
Doesn't sound,
that was really convincing,
assuring, Jacob.
Yeah, and on that note, we'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
See you guys.